We live in an ecosystem where a loud calendar signals personal worth. In this world, we treat empty hours, empty rooms, and empty minds like diseases that require immediate treatment. The inhabitants of this city of noise survive on a metaphorical boat called self-sufficiency, staying afloat on a sea of digital distractions. As long as the notifications keep coming, they never have to look at the water below. But at 2 a.m, the battery dies. The glowing screen becomes a black mirror, reflecting an exhausted face that the digital filters usually hide. This sudden absence of noise reveals the truth. He hasn't been living. He has spent his entire life running from the silence he just inherited. In the vacuum of the blackout, a single question emerges from the dark. Whom do you listen to when the wind goes silent? His digital tethers suddenly feel like the walls of a prison. He turns off the phone, closes his eyes, and intentionally steps into an internal fog. This desert journey requires zero physical movement. The internal crossing begins the exact moment he stops looking at a screen. The mind shudders under the immediate onset of the desert of uncertainty, a violent orange sandstorm battering his fragile sense of self. This storm represents the mind's violent withdrawal from its digital anesthesia, unleashing years of repressed fear, anger, and anxiety into the open air. He tries to calculate his way out, using logic as a compass to regain control. But human reason proves useless against a psychological onslaught this massive. Survival depends on the anchor of grace, a lifeline that keeps the mind tethered to a larger reality, preventing him from being swept away by the chaos. Surviving this initial panic requires him to abandon the illusion of control and hold on to a truth that logic cannot reach. As the storm subsides, he discovers a hidden well and descends into the subterranean cave of mirrors beneath the desert. These walls of crystallized salt strip away his professional titles and digital avatars. He is forced to look at his buried memories and the faces of the people he has failed. This silence provides a merciful reflection, creating a space for deep reconciliation. He faces his flawed true self, using honesty as a mechanism for healing. True stillness acts as a mirror, forcing us to integrate the parts of ourselves we buried beneath the layers of digital noise. The journey deepens into the starless night, a phase where every perceived light and spiritual comfort vanishes completely. Terrified by the darkness, he tries to force his way out through sheer willpower, attempting to scale a massive sand dune as if peace were a summit he could conquer. Halfway up, his strength fails. He tumbles backward, a physical manifestation of the absolute failure of human effort to manufacture spiritual peace. At the bottom of the slope, the desert reveals its secret. Stillness requires him to acknowledge his own smallness and allow himself to be carried. The deepest level of peace demands the total abandonment of spiritual ambition, replacing the drive to achieve with the willingness to surrender. This surrender leads him to the oasis, where he is embraced by the profound, quiet presence that has been traveling with him since the city. Every struggle along the way, the storm, the mirrors, and the dark night, prepared his mind to finally receive this silence. Then the desert illusion dissolves. He is back in his living room chair, exactly where he started, with the same small stone in his pocket. Peace does not mean escaping the reality of your life. It means returning to the same circumstances with a heart that has finally grown quiet. Outside, the city of noise continues its chaotic rhythm, but inside the room, an unshakable internal calm has taken hold. He now inhabits what he calls full nothingness. The void of the dead phone screen has transformed from an abyss into a sanctuary, the place where the essential presence waits to be heard. You don't need to flee the modern world to find this. You only need to close your eyes, face the void, and dare to listen to the silence within